Welcome, Strayer University faculty. This tutorial will walk you through the steps on how to grade student assignments using the new clickable rubrics. Okay, so the first step in order to begin grading the assignment using the new clickable rubric is to navigate to the full grade center located on the left-hand side of the page under Course Management. Simply click on the full grade center and you will then enter into the gradebook area. Now that you are inside of the full grade center, you must then scroll over to where the actual assignment exists for that student. So for this example, we have Student A. The assignment that needs to be graded for Student A is the Week 8 assignment. Within this Week 8 assignment, you will then see a box with a white exclamation point inside of it as you see here. To enter into that specific student's assignment, pull down the chevron symbol and click View Grade Details. Now that you have entered into that specific student's assignment, you can then view the actual assignment by clicking on the View Attempts button located towards the top of this page. Simply click this View Attempts button and you will then enter into the actual submitted assignment that the student has submitted. At this point, it should look like the conventional grading area you are used to, but the difference now is there is a View Rubric button located under the Grade Current Attempt, which is number 3. To begin grading the assignment via the clickable rubric, simply click on the View Rubric button and the clickable grading rubric will pop open. As a quick review, on the left-hand side, we have what we call the criteria. These criteria are then weighted by a percentage of the overall points. So as we can see here, the percentage of the first criteria is worth 20% of the overall 240 points that this assignment is worth. Along the top, we have what is called the proficiency levels. For undergraduate students, these proficiency levels range from A, B, C, D, and F, and for graduate students, these proficiency levels range from A, B, C, and F. Before you begin grading the assignment, it is also important to understand that each proficiency level then has a range. So for example, the exemplary proficiency level ranges from 90 to 100%. If you then decide that this specific criteria is worth, let's say, 42.96 points, then that would equate to meeting 90% of the overall 20% for that specific criteria. To assign these points then, simply click on the radio button located under that specific proficiency range. So in this example, we will choose the exemplary range. Then click on the drop-down box located beside the word points. Within here, you will see a range from 42.96 to 48 points. If you choose 42.96 points, then that would equate to the student receiving 90% of the overall 20% for that specific criteria. If, for example, you then decide that the student met 95% of the overall 20% for this criteria, then you would pull down and choose 45.48 points. This then is the median between 42.96 and 48 points. After you have assigned the point value for that specific criteria, you must then leave feedback as to why the student received the number of points that you have chosen. To leave feedback, simply click inside of the feedback box as shown here and leave your feedback. Now let's assign points for the rest of the different criteria. If at any time you decide that a specific criteria needs to be changed from, let's say, exemplary to fair, simply click on the radio button under fair and assign the points accordingly. Also, make sure to leave feedback under the fair proficiency level instead of the exemplary proficiency level. You don't have to worry about removing the feedback from the old exemplary feedback box, because once you check the fair radio button, this will be the feedback that will show up, and the old feedback located in the exemplary feedback box will not be shown to the student. Once you have filled in all of the corresponding point values for each of the criteria, you can then scroll to the bottom of the page and it will automatically total up all the points you have chosen. So in this example, the raw total is 194.59 points out of the total 240 total points that the assignment is worth. Also, below the raw total section, there is another feedback section which you can provide feedback on the overall rubric. It is recommended you fill in this, however, this is not a requirement. The next step in order to officially submit the points for this student's assignment is to click Save, located at the bottom right-hand corner of the page as shown here. Simply click the Save button and you will then be taken to the Submissions page. Here you will see that the grade current attempt now has the total number of points added up from the different criteria, which in this case is 194.59 points. Below this section is also another feedback section. Unlike the previous section, this feedback area is mandatory. Please leave feedback regarding the overall rubric and assignment here. Once you have completed the feedback area and are satisfied in the total number of points assigned to that student's assignment, you can then click the Submit button located at the top or bottom right-hand side of the page as shown here. After you hit the Submit button, you will then be taken to the main page where we started out our tutorial, and the total number of points will appear in bold at the top. At this point, if you are satisfied with the number of points assigned, you are done. If you wish to change the point values, simply click on the View Attempts button and repeat the steps that we just covered in this tutorial.